Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. What about you?
I'm doing fabulous. My name is Indy. Please tell me, how do you pronounce your name?
Gopi.
Gopi. I like that. From?
I'm from India.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Now, is it just full on Indian or are you mixed?
I'm India. Like not
In
mixed.
America, everybody, yeah, in America, we are all mixed. We are
Okay, it's
all
like
mixed. That's why I ask.
okay.
Gopi, I like that name a lot.
Thank you
And
so much.
so, okay, well, your English sounds really good. So tell me, why are you on Cambly?
I like to speak with native speakers to improve my
Uh-huh.
English as well as I'm working as a English teacher.
Fabulous.
But
Okay,
my
now it all makes sense.
my main job is like I'm working as a quality control supervisor in BPO, and as a freelance, I'm teaching English to Indian students.
Well, you know what? That is wonderful. I make notes, but I'm going to put it aside for a moment just to focus on talking to you.
Thank
I
you so much.
love that because when I speak to students from many countries,
Hmm.
a lot of them will tell me, yes, my teachers taught me, the grammar. They taught me how to read, how to write, how to put sentences together, but we do not speak in English. And I'm thinking, how do you teach somebody if you cannot speak to them? And what happens is you become an English teacher, and with time, you have no one you can practice with yourself, so you start losing it. So you can
That's
teach your the
mhm.
children the rules, but then you're embarrassed. You don't want to talk to them. And go ahead.
Yeah, like from my perspective, if you teach someone, you can also learn something.
Absolutely. Now, during the pandemic or right before the pandemic, I moved to Mexico. One, because it's beautiful. Two, cost of living is cheaper. It's just great. I'm living like my best life right now,
Mhm.
almost. But while I'm there, um, my cousin or second cousin, she's in high school, and I was talking to her, and I saw that she was practicing her English. And so I tried to talk with her, and she's like, "Oh, we just learned the reading and writing in Mexico as well." And I said, "Your teacher doesn't speak with you?" She's like, "No." There is some teachers that will get on Cambly to practice because if not, they lose it. And it's
Exactly.
really even for myself. In Mexico, all I do is speak Spanish.
Hmm.
And so when I get on Cambly or when I talk to my best friend, it's all in English.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm in Washington. So I'm in the United States at the moment. That's why I'm wearing a sweater because it's cold.
Okay.
But uh,
Sorry, yeah. Sorry for
no,
cutting
go
you
ahead.
off. Okay. So most of the people from India, they don't get an opportunity to speak with native speakers.
Absolutely.
So
Oh, so I was going to tell you about that. The worst part of it is so people from India, they already have a strong accent.
yeah, of
And
course.
then when they learn English, it's usually British English. And British English, oh my Lord, they have a very, very strong accent. So then you
Yeah.
combine the Indian accent and the
As
British
well,
accent
British accent. Yeah.
together, and everybody's like, what?
They invented Indians have invented a new accent.
Oh my goodness. Yes, absolutely. And like during the 90s and early 2000s,
Hmm.
the United States was outsourcing a lot of customer service.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people from India were being hired to work customer service and handle phone calls. That
I'm
drove
I'm one of them.
Okay, so I'm sure you had to deal with a lot of rude Americans, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, of course. And rather even Americans will accept our accent, but British people will not.
Yeah, but the and that's what it was is let me tell you, and it's I feel really bad, but uh I was one of those customers where I would hear them talk and I was like, I'm sorry, I need to speak to somebody in the United States because it is so hard. When it comes to customer service, you have to be able to communicate. And so I know that that time period in history, Americans were so rude to customer service, but it's because you're dealing with something important, and you want to be able to communicate. And now you're dealing with somebody in another country, and the language is just, and it's not even so much the Indian language. As an American, you listen to somebody speak English from Britain, and it's a nightmare. We, I love British literature, British movies, things like that. So it's easy for me, but most Americans will tell you we cannot understand people from the UK. And it seems like the more educated you are, the harder it is, because like the Queen, have you ever heard the Queen speak? It's like, what? So, but your English is good.
But people like UK accent. I mean, English. I mean, British accent.
Oh
They
yeah,
have a
it
lovely
sounds
accent,
beautiful.
isn't it?
It's sexy. Yeah.
It's sexy, actually. That's what people
Yes,
used to
it's
tell me.
sexy.
It's sexy
Yeah,
accent.
but it's just, it's like, oh, I don't understand what you're saying, but keep talking. It sounds really pretty. Oh, and
Okay.
so tell me more about yourself. Like, do you travel? Have you always been in India, or have you gone anywhere else?
So I have traveled many places in India, but not outside India.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But
okay.
I wanted to.
Now I want to ask you, did you call me because you saw my name?
No, no.
No,
I
okay.
just, I just ran. But your name is like India, right? Indie. So
Yeah,
what's
well,
what's the spelling? What's the spelling of your name?
I go by Indy because it's easier to pronounce for a lot of people. And even though my parents, I'm first generation American born, and my parents come from Mexico, but
Okay.
my father named me Indira Gandhi,
Oh,
and he named my brother Mahatma Gandhi.
oh my goodness.
So that's like, let me hold on. Let me. The sun's coming in. Hold on, one
Okay.
second. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. No, so yeah, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I called you because I thought you were from India. I'm like, no, I've never been there. I was supposed to go when I was 15, but that never happened. So that's also on my list. There's so many places I have to go see still.
Okay. So you
But
never been to India before?
no, you see, when I was, my dad had planned that when I turned 15, I in my mind, I don't know what I was thinking. He's like, "You're gonna go meet Indira Gandhi." I'm like, "Oh
Okay.
yay!" And so, but unfortunately, before I turned 15, she was assassinated, um, and so he never took me. And I'm like, "But I still want to visit India." And when your parents pay for stuff, it's easier. But when you
That's
have
true.
to pay for it, it's like, oh my God, it's so
Uh,
expensive.
that's really true. That's really true. And uh,
And
your place
no,
is
go ahead.
looking little dark now because of the
Oh,
shade. I
okay.
cannot see your face
No, it's
properly.
okay.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
Now,
Sorry
now
about
it's
that.
good. No problem at all.
All
No
right.
problem. But
Yeah, the
still, I can
sun.
hear you.
So I'm in Washington. So here it's overcast and rainy a lot. And then all of a sudden the sun wants to come out, and I couldn't see you because it was the
Okay,
glare.
yeah, yeah, I can understand. I can understand.
And since I'm looking at you, I didn't even realize that it was dark on me. Sorry about that.
No
Um,
problem at all. I understand.
so how long, you've been on Cambly since January 27th. My daughter's birthday.
Oh,
Uh,
great.
so tell me, how do you like Cambly so far?
So this is a very good opportunity for speaking with native English speakers.
Mm-hmm.
So in other things, the Cambly is pretty famous compared to other apps.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I believe.
And do you recommend it to your students, or do you just use it for yourself to help them?
No, for my students, they believe it is pretty expensive. People
Yeah,
from India, they feel, yeah.
everybody feels that way. Everybody. I have students where, they're like, "Oh, I can only do this for a certain period of time." And then then I have to quit because yes, I don't even know how much it costs, but I can imagine it can get very pricey because I want to practice French and I try to get every app that I can that's free because I was like, I'm not paying 500 for a year, or it's like that's expensive. So I can
Very
just
expensive.
imagine how expensive it is for people in other countries, but it's I I have one student, she'll call me once a month because she'll get a free trial. So
Oh,
it's like as soon as she calls me, it's like, Sam, how are you? And so she's like, yeah, every time I get a coupon, I call you. I'm like, yes,
that's great. That's great. Good to
absolutely.
hear.
And
Okay.
so, do you have any questions for me? What
Yeah,
is your
sure.
learning
Sure. How
style?
long
Yes.
are you like full-time Cambly teacher, or you're working somewhere else? I mean,
Well, um, I'm right now. I'm just full time Cambly.
mm,
But I also like, for example, at the end of the month, I will be in, no, not the end of the month. I'm leaving. I'm leaving in a week. I'm leaving for Spain, and
wow.
but towards the end of the month, I will start working in Spain. But I will also be on Cambly. These will be my hours that I will be working on Cambly, because in Spain they have siesta, and that's when everything shuts down and people just don't do anything. So it allows me my free time. I love Cambly. This is my hobby.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So,
absolutely love it.
even for me, like teaching is my passion. I
That
like
yes,
people.
that makes you happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that makes me happy.
It's
Even though it's my part-time job,
yeah,
I like it so much.
absolutely. And there is nothing greater than when you see a student actually progress. That's reward. Oh, I lost you.
No,
Okay,
I
there you are.
I received a call.
Yeah, I understand. That happens a lot when the students receive calls and it cuts off. So no, no problem, I understand. um but like I was telling you, when you see the progress in a student, it's so rewarding
Yeah,
to
of
see that.
course, of course. Yeah,
I met many students that they're like, well, I'm learning English because I want to be a doctor, or I want to be an engineer, or I want to work with computers, and you need English.
yeah.
And I for me, I like Cambly because I feel like I can travel the world without leaving the kitchen.
So true, isn't it? Like now, using the online media, we can speak with anyone throughout the world, and we can, teach anyone throughout the world.
Absolutely. Um, I have learned so much. Like, for example, I have students that are Muslim, and I learned a lot about the religion and their culture, and like Ramadan, and then the celebrations, the food they eat. They share recipes with me, and you just learn so much about where they're from. They learn a lot about where you're from, and then of course the best part is we share movies. It's like, what movie have you seen lately? Do this, do that. So I'm in like North Korean movies right now. I love Bollywood. Oh, Bollywood and North Korean movies are my
Okay,
favorite.
who's our favorite hero from Bollywood?
Oh, heck, I don't know. I don't
You
know
know.
their names. I For me, I just look at the beautiful clothing and the dancing. The storyline is hilarious. It's so different from American movies. I couldn't half the American artists, I don't know who they are either. Don't worry about it. I don't focus on that, but it's just like the dancing. Oh, and the action. The action is like, it's so dramatic,
Dramatic, yes, of course.
It makes me laugh.
Yeah,
And then Korean movies, it's always about like, oh, a romantic moment. They lock in each other's eyes, and then the music begins. I was like, okay.
but Koreans
So
are making excellent movies nowadays.
they are amazing at making zombie movies. I love watching Korean zombie movies,
Yeah,
and then romance, like romance comedy as well.
okay.
So yeah, and I can't understand them, so I'm always just reading subtitles. I'll sit there just like, it's like online reading. It's
That's true.
really good.
That's true.
Gopi, our time
Yeah,
is almost up. So I just want to say I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope you
too.
can call me back because
Sure,
I
sure.
I have a feeling you and I are going to be best friends. Well,
Yeah, of
hold on, don't
course.
do that. My best friend has headset on, so she can't hear me.
You're
Oh,
so
she's like,
funny.
I
Like
can
yeah,
totally hear you. What was that?
you're so funny. Like you, I believe you're a hilarious person. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
like
Thank you so
comedy, isn't it? Right?
It's life. You have to love it.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
okay, Dopey, I will talk to you again real soon.